from guard. One way that you gotta keep in mind is you set up the second option by selling the first one, okay? And what oftentimes you wanna do is you wanna sell some kind of potential sweep so they're not expecting to defend the neck. 'Cause if they're defending the neck, it's harder to get chokes or anything on a secondary option. So we're here, look, here, look, I push away a bit here, and I'm gonna sit up here, because I wanna be able to hip bump sweep from here. Okay, so that's a basic hip bump sweep. We're gonna do that now. In the gi, it's a little bit different, but the concepts here are the same. Look, I want to lift the hip. I want to guide his hands down to the mat here. Okay, block his biceps, and I want to scoop my hip just far enough away so that as my hips drop, I come up here. Okay, and I want to keep lifting the hip as my toes point, and I'm hip bumping him here, and I'm gonna block his elbow so it's harder for him to post. So if he posts, okay, I want to cup it here, and I want to turn him here. And you maybe even get it here, but you're probably not going to get it. But you may not get the 100% sweep crank here, but you may be able to get the actual guillotine here. Yeah. So that's a hip bump sweep to a guillotine. The key is to be able to lift your hips, and as your hips drop, your upper body comes off the mat. Because if my hips are on the mat, it's hard to get the upper body off the mat. So as we're here, look, hips lift here, okay? I'm pushing down, this one I'm blocking here, as the toes go, and I lift the hip, okay? As my hips drop, and I start climbing here. See, I came up with my left hand. My right hand is at least cupping this here, okay? So that I keep driving over that line, and as you get to the mouth. This is a good sweep, gi, no gi, doesn't matter. Okay. The key is to be able to get his hands on the mat. I don't want to get him here. I want to get his hands more so here so he tilts more forward to break his posture over here. So I push him here, and now I C-frame his arms until they 1, 2. As I keep climbing my hips, okay, pulling his arm, and essentially I turn him in at 180. So, okay, one more time. Your toe with the blocking has to be pointed. If you spur your toes and you sweep them onto that foot, you make the same mistake I did a blue belt that I never made again because I almost broke my foot because he landed right on my heel. 1, 2, 3. And you, all right, one last time. Yep. Let's try. 1, 2, 3. For the bottom person, make sure, the top person, your feet are always like this. Do not ever do this with your feet. I try to help Kreiner and Davis not to do this. But if I push you back and roll you that way, your knee's gonna be torn for the rest of your life.